Hey, so this is a short video about finishing stuff. Um, I've just basically wrapped up an EP of tracks. I don't actually know if I'll play any of it. That's not really what I'm here to do. I'm just here to sort of talk about stuff really today, and just to kind of show you how I get stuff over the line. Um, I really do believe that there are like two different brains involved with like the creation process. There's like the creating bit, which is like the fun bit where you start it, and there's the actual like nuts and bolts, like pain in the ass, kind of finishing brain. Um, and I had, and I still also have a number of unfinished things. But this week I really knuckled down with a few of those. Just hopefully this will give you a little bit of an insight into my workflow with these tracks because I'm about to print pre-masters for all of these. Uh, and then master it myself actually, which is not always my preference. I generally like someone else to do my mastering for me just because it's kind of harder to be objective about your own stuff, whereas mastering is like you need to have a sort of certain dispassionate approach towards it. And I will get there with it. It will just take a bit longer when it's my own stuff. So where are we? Right, so these are all finished tracks. You can just kind of see from the arrangement that on all of them actually that there's you know when it comes to this point, I've actually bounced a hell of a lot of stuff together. Like this would have all of these projects will have been multiple tracks more than this. Um, in the creation part and the mix down part, inevitably I group stuff a lot, as you've probably seen in all my videos, and then because I just stack on the plugins like crazy, it's necessary for me by that point to actually just like actually render audio stems of stuff. So in this one, for example, this is basically most of the drums of that orange piece there, and then I've gone in and like sparkled some extra percussion on here. There is a pattern forming actually because this one actually has the same. Let me just clear this up a little bit so you can see a bit more what's going on. This is the one that I exported from the Beta Tech one that I exported from Ableton. I did actually export quite a lot of tracks from it, but yeah, what I ended up with was like a stem with most of the drums baked in. Most of my techno tunes have got this going on. Um, and yeah, that's like the bassline part. You can see though, I've sparkled it with some extra percussion like MIDI going on there. This one was kind of arranged already. I just kind of did a few more bits of modulation using various things just to get a bit more movement happening through the arrangement. But the arrangement was basically the same as it was in Ableton. Um, Again, you can see this one. Yeah, we've got most of the. This one has a kind of a weirder thing going on with the drums, which is something that I do quite a lot as well. You probably realise I sort of make some sort of quite a lot of strange layers with my drums. Um, so this has actually got like a drum loop that was complete, but then when I put it in the track, I don't know, it just didn't seem to like kind of smack as hard as I wanted it to. Um, and so what happened with that is um, I put an extra kick in this group, and then like side chained out um, a lot. You get this side chain here is coming from the kick, so I basically side chained out like the kick from the looped drums, which is a bit of a weird one, but it sounds great. So yeah, and then we've got like the main riff here. You can see I've got breakdowns happening, um, and yeah, this is all like loads of this stuff was like multiple more tracks then you can see basically. Just going back to this one. This one has got a bit more of the kind of live original creation bit in than some of the others. This one is done in Polygrid, so it's got like a whole sort of like synth thing happening in Polygrid. I'm just gonna, I want to minimize this window, go away, there we go. So this is kind of running live in the session, this synth that I made myself. It's kind of a wave folding FM type thing, but then I made these macros for it here, which I did, as you can see, loads of like automations on. A lot of my projects look like this, with like multiple lanes of automation drawn in. Again, just going back to the drums, we've got like all the drums grouped more or less here, apart from once again some sparkly like hi-hats. This is a common pattern basically. Because I've smashed the drums so hard through various bits of processing, they quite often need an extra little sparkle on the top with some like just really subtle hi-hats that you could almost like not, some of them are ones that are almost imperceivable really if they were kind of there or not there, but it does make the difference. Yeah, and I've got, you can see this is all a bit, looks like a bit of a mess, but like I had the kick and snare grouped together and smashed, and then I kind of left in the dry ones. I actually played it by mistake at one point with the dry ones in, and it sounded great, so I just kind of left it. You know, loads of these things are just kind of like happy accidents, but then the more you do it, the happier the accidents become, I guess. The transitions on this one, it kind of like, the reason you can't really see me but being much of a transition is because there is a sort of baked into the synth. It's got loads of stuff going on. There's like a 4-bar loop thing that sends to a reverb every 4 bars. Or it might be 8 bars actually. So then I'm getting a tail off that into this section. Let me just play that. You can hear that just tail happening. That happens every 8 bars anyway, so it kind of didn't really need like an extra send, which is what I would ended up having to do if that wasn't there basically. So yeah, it's and a lot of this is basically another thing I just wanted to point out actually is that too much is made, in my opinion, of like, oh you got stuck in the loop, don't get stuck in the loop, blah blah blah, when you're producing. What a load of rubbish that is, if you ask me. The loop has to be like really great, in my opinion. So like work that loop until it's like the funkiest loop you ever made in your life, and then go and arrange it. That is how I work anyway. I'm sure there's people that do it in different ways, but I really hate that kind of prescriptive way of like music production chat that is like, oh, you're getting stuck in the loop. Well, there's a good reason you're going to get stuck in the loop. It's because you want the loop to sound absolutely fucking wicked, right? So yeah, don't listen to these idiots like just tell you this like crap on these courses basically. So yeah, that, yeah, as I said to you, just a short like, yeah. Oh yeah, so the other thing is, yeah, another thing that I do quite a lot as well, as you probably noticed, is I have a lot of tracks on the go simultaneously that aren't finished, and then I sort of had this whole like unfinished thing going on, and then it's just like 1 week I'll just be like, right, this is finishing brain, and finishing brain goes in and it turns those incompleted bits into full arrangements, and that's absolutely what I've done with these ones, and I will continue to be doing those over the next few weeks. I've got like tons of remix work on, and they are in various stages of completion, and they, yeah, basically I'm going to be just finishing off loads of remixes over the next few weeks, so I'll be absolutely applying this you know, this kind of workflow to those. Yeah, that's it.